girls, I'm excited. I've got another video to talk about the new menu planners that are out. Okay, so what I really wanted for me was, and for you all, but I always begin with me, because what works for me and is tried and true, and if I feel that it can benefit a lot of women, then I'll release it. But again, being a mom of so many, I really wanted to be able to formulate a menu planning system where I can really be on top of my game. And I think what really made me want to become more urgent at getting this designed was the fact that I watch my grandson full time, and my daughter even has another baby on the way, and I'm gonna be with this little one too, and I feel like my game has to change a little bit in order to be organized. But it doesn't mean, whatever season you're in, to be organized in your meals and just have a traveler's notebook for it, it's just dreamy. I decided that my TN, my Hazel in the size B6, was going to be my catch-all, my meal planning system. It was going to carry my month of meals, my baking days, my favorite recipes, which allow for journaling. And so this is like what I have curated and made as a way to have women stay so organized. And like, this is going to be your go-to for like, okay, let's dive in, sit on a couch with some tea and dream up some amazing meals for my family. How can I be organized with it? What's going to be happening all month long? And you're just, the thing is though, as well as with my method, that the more you take the time to do thinking in advance and brain dumping and dreaming and being inspired and really taking the time, it's like anything. It's like, you know, you want to be organized, but it's better to just plan on the fly because that's all the time you're allotting, or because that's all the time you have for, or you wish you were more fit, but you don't really have time to exercise or eat right. You're just too much in a hurry. But the thing is though, anything that you care about the most, you will take the time. I mean, you will make the time to do. And believe me, I know. And when I really wanted to get some fit in my life, I would get up at 5 a.m. and then come home, leave the home to a gym, come home and able to do it. Whatever you want to make the time for, you can definitely do. And the same goes for this. Find the time, because you will benefit the rewards. You will reap the benefits of anything you put all your heart in and time in. What you've really always wanted will come true because you took the time to do it. So to be organized with your meals, you got to come up with a plan. And I love to use my circumstances or what's going on. I actually love problem solving. It's actually one of my greatest things that I really love doing. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm in chaos. How can I fix this, you know? And it doesn't come from a place of stress, but it's just a place of questioning. And whenever you put a place of questioning out there for God to hear, then he always comes back with an answer. And I'm always receiving answers. I just am to all my problems. Now, if it came out of stress and worry, and then I'm racking my brain like a crazy to try to make it work, that's when I'm gonna hit walls and I'm gonna hit into problems. But whenever I'm asking questions like, how can I make this work and make things more peaceful, or make sure that kids actually have dinners, because I watch my grandson full time, and it can get chaotic. He stays through dinner. And so when it's time for me to go home, sometimes if I didn't make dinner on the table, I'm like, how can I make this happen that I can literally get dinner on the table, feed everyone, and then get him off, and then come home, wrap everything up, clean everything up, and be organized and ready for the next day. It was just one of those things where I really look at those as opportunities to make my life even greater and even better. Don't ever wallow in any circumstance or condition, because you have the ability to change it. There's the hope there. You can absolutely create an atmosphere and a life that you love? Absolutely. But it's always got to come from a place of just joy, happiness, and of knowing that you can. And I really am a walking, living, breathing example of that. Because even though I have gone both extremes where I've definitely had some stress and I try to go at it that way, I know what that's like. And then I also know what it's like to say, this isn't working. How can I make this work and happen? And I really kind of just release it. Like, let that prayer go. Let it go. It's not your burden to even carry. Let the answer come. And sure enough, that's how all my greatest designs come. Artwork comes. Designs come with my business, with my family, with organizing, with meal plans, with my diet, with fitness, trying to fit that in while still managing a huge home. All of these kind of things happen out of just mere ideas and my imagination, my thoughts that God just plugs in for me. And so let's get into this meal planning thing where it's you're going to really, really love it to stay completely organized all year long. You're going to love what I'm going to show you. Okay, here we are. I am in a B6. This is Cora. And I love doing my menu planning in a B6. It's just a really, really fun size. This is the style, the everyday organized, and I like that especially for menu planning because of the fact that I don't need the pockets that we have in the on about. And look at, you've got the notepad. Talk about being able to do any kind of recipe jot down, any kind of a, recipe conversions or your any kind of things you need to work in here and jot down. It's there for you, that notepad, so it's absolutely perfect. I love doing this, but these pockets are absolutely perfect and handy. I have some, even some Canon Ivy, that's the photo printer I use, where I've already got some of my recipes and ready to go with these photos that go with the photos. So some of my balls here, even of the kids for certain times of the year, stuff like that. So I can plunk these in, and I'm just really excited to do that. So as well as just having it kind of decked out for the season, which we're going into the holidays. So let me just go ahead and get started. This is what I have decked out ready for planning for the holidays, and a lot of this will just take me into the whole year. That's the idea. You can just swap these out because you can pick your cover and then just put the recipe book pages on the inside of whatever cover you like. So I wanted one definitely for holiday recipes. So I'm going to begin putting in and just snuggling up on the couch by the fire and putting in my favorite recipes for Christmas. So this would be like a biscotti. We're Italian, so on my side of the family. So it's the biscotti, and you got all that in, and then you have these, the Canon Ivy pictures, and you can journal about it. The idea of this from the design, why I did it this way was because, and you'll see in a minute, because I have already a whole bunch written and some pages down, is that you can journal on this side. You can write down why this recipe is a hit. It's tried and true, these recipes. These are traditional memories. And they will be handed down for years to come. It's an absolute beautiful way to keep a recipe close to your heart. You can pull this out every year, stick it back in snugly of your favorite recipes for Christmas dinner, even Thanksgiving dinner. You can have your favorite cookies, pies, treats, all of that fun stuff in here. So it is this where you have this down. You can even continue on with the preparation of it, or more instructions on this side, pictures, why you love it so much, add stickers, decor. It's a journaling side. So, and it just will hold 40 recipes for you. And you are absolutely going to have a blast working in this. I know you will, like I did, for sure. So this is going to be for all of my holiday planning. Now the meal planner, this is where you're going to take care of your month of meals. And I really like this idea because it has kept me so organized for my whole month. So how I set this up is that it goes by the month. And then in between the month, you've got where you're going to be jotting down all of just a brain dump of sorts of what kind of meals you want for your family for the whole month. Healthy, good meals, ones that everyone can agree upon, and even have room to do some lunches, or let's say you're trying to watch it in certain areas. So you're kind of writing a list down of things that you want to make sure to care for you about, because that's important. So it's a matter of 1 month of meals. Let's get them all down, all of our favorites. And what you'll do then is that you'll take those ideas that you had and you will write them down in the days that are here. Don't forget game day, the 4 different game days out of the month for football. If you guys are football fans, or your husband or anyone in the family is, you can kind of have fun foods on that day. So I just would be writing down the meals for each day. This is for meal planning. So on each day, what did you have allotted? Taking note of, when you will be doing what, or what holiday things you will be doing. And don't feel the pressure to even have to put it all at one time in there. Wait as maybe your December unfolds and you're knowing more about what's happening and the parties and different things that you might be doing and going on. And then you can start to add more that you had put already in here. Like get some good crock pot ones in there. Some ones that you can really use and count on for the heavy shopping day. So when you come back, dinner's ready. So keep all of that in mind, and then you can plunk them in wherever they see fit for your whole month. This is also what I love is your baking days. So I love to bake once a week. Sometimes it'll be twice a month, but either way, you can, whichever one you decide, you can put in here everything you want to bake so that you're organized. If you've ever seen any of my baking days up there in my highlights on my IG, I'm going to be doing more videos for YouTube. So that ought to be fun for 2020. But baking day for me is amazing because I like to bake and freeze. You don't want to go through all of this baking and then everyone eats and gobbles up everything in vain in 15 minutes. So I love to bake big, huge batches of cookies, and then I will keep a couple out for the, couple days worth on the counter in a cookie jar, beautiful display on a cookie jar, and then I will put the rest in the freezer where I can ration it, and then I can divvy it up and put them out and give them to in school lunches. You can give a couple out for a child on the counter, put a couple out and for after lunch. That's their treat. It's something where they are home baked. It's the ingredients that are in them. It's no Oreo. It's something that you've used the finest ingredients and you've prepared and made. So there's nothing can top that. White bread, you can do white bread, wheat breads that you're making and freezing, putting one on the loaf. How about banana bread, pumpkin breads? How about if you are any kind of special diet, you're making these and preparing them so that you don't, or your children don't, or your family doesn't lean towards, maybe something that's bad. They go towards something that is good, that you've prepared because you took the time to do it. So this is how you do it. It'll help you save money. It'll help you keep on track of eating better and well. So that is what I do. So a lot for a baking day each week. And, nothing like having your dinners and then knowing that you've got rolls in the freezer that you can pull out and put on their plate and just, you've slaved all day in the kitchen, but really that roll makes it look like you did. But because you took that one day out of the week to bake and freeze, you'll be set. So this was a great addition. There's artwork by me in here. I thought the whisk was a cute little fun thing to add. And then you go into your next month where you can be a visionary for your meals for the month. Get some fun magazines out, soups, stews, meatloafs, things that your family does love, casseroles, and get them all down in your 1 month of meals, get all that brain dumping down. Then you can start I always get a consensus on everyone before anything is solidified, because I don't want I want majority wanting what I'm going to prepare, because what's the point? So, and then before you put it all down in here. So let's move over to the recipe book where I have some down as an example to show you. I also want to show you, so here I've got desserts. So I've already started. I'm kind of going to go through the seasons in mine. I'm going to add maybe some tabs. I'll show that later to you. That's how I've done mine. But you could definitely do something where you've got fall desserts, winter desserts, spring, and summer. So you could do it that way because, again, our books are all custom. You can pick your art cover. I mean, I've got a beautiful rabbit that I painted for spring in the store, and you could put, spring recipe favorites, and have that scripted on there, and then inside would be all of your spring recipes. So it's endless on what you can do. So also this is a new edition of art. It's breads, because I like to keep my breads separate. And so this one is a recipe book where it has, it'll have your, your recipe, and then here it is where this is an example here, but this is just for all my breads. And so this is for Thanksgiving, for just my breads. So you can do how you want to set up your book here. So let me give you some examples and a run through of what I have got going so far. So these are starting with fall, some of our favorites that we've been using. And so my banana bread, these are some of my stickers that are in the store. This is the infamous banana bread that I know Waylon, literally his diet mainly consists of. I try not to, but boy, that boy loves banana bread so much. And it's fun to be able to put in some white whole wheat flour in there, and, really making this an amazing, nutritious bread. So here is all about what I love about the banana bread, the memories surrounding it, who loves it, why do we make it so much? We've been making this recipe for a long time, so I made sure I got that in. And of course, he's up the counter. He always hops up on that high counter there and starts diving in with whatever I've got. Molasses chocolate chip cookies. This is actually a photo I took after I had made some fresh ones out of the oven. Here's my grandson in the pumpkin patch. And of course, he gobbles these up, and I just wrote all about it. It's one of our fall traditions that I make these cookies every single year. I'll bring them to the pumpkin patch. I'll bake up a batch and bring them. And so I write all about it. Halloween, pumpkin bread. It's another staple at our house. And I actually even made some of the batter and put them into muffins. And I put it next to one of his favorite little, Waylon and Blaine's favorite little skeletons. And wrote all about our Halloween with the day that we made pumpkin bread on that day. And anyway, just to write down the memories around this. I mean, as you can see how much of a beauty it is to be able to have your recipe on this side, and then to be able to journal the tradition and memory around it is such a keepsake that it could really bring a tear to the eye if you allowed it. I mean, it's emotional. I get really emotional looking through this. My apple pie, I've been making this for 26 years. I put my 6-year-old here because he always loves to help me bake it and to prepare for it and get those apples tossed in cinnamon and sugar. And I write about it. And so it's just, this is a pie. It came out of the oven. I took a picture. And it's just fun to do. Take a picture of your food. And that way you can stick it there of your favorite recipe. And then just use the old Canon Ivory, and from your phone, zip it out, and it's just absolutely perfect. And then my apple cake, I have so much more to add, and I cannot wait here. I have it ready for me even, so when I get by the fire here, I can just sit down and just write down my pumpkin bars, the recipe and the details. Chocolate chip M&M cookies, another huge favorite. And I'm just going to keep on going, and I have some of my photos in here that I'm going to be adding. So it'll just be absolutely perfect. I can't wait to put in my cookies, candies, and treats that we always make as a holiday tradition in here, and take fresh new photos and get these in here as well. And this is going to be a beautiful addition to your kitchen. Having a beautiful traveler's notebook, be able to house everything. You can get in the couch and just get snugly with your meals of what you want is traditionally, what you want to bake on your baking days, what are the meals going to look like, and it helps you care for your family and care for your family well. These are traditional recipes. These will be passed down. The memories in here are absolutely priceless. Hey, everything you'll need to know of how to get a Cora, how to get any more of our tans will be down below. All of my favorites, from my cameras to, all my different fun planning accessories.
is all just down below. My Amazon page, it's just easy links to be able to take you there. Everything you need should be down below. But welcome if you're new to me, and hello again to all my friends who are always here. Until next time, you guys.